welcome to Tabor Talk. So I was actually going to read a letter from Lucy Arnaz. Lucy, I love Lucy, her daughter. She wrote a letter. Actually, her husband wrote a letter. Let me get his name right. His name is Lawrence Luckinbill, and I was going to read it here, but I don't have a teleprompter, and you could see that I was glancing down, and I didn't. It just didn't look that right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you the gist of it, and plus it'll come off so much more natural. All right. So it's an amazing letter. Someone sent this to me, and everybody should read this. So it starts out where he states, like, listen, I understand being you're in a bubble, perhaps, right? So it says every president feels isolated, like in this, their sense of what is real is lost because all of your aides and politicians are they're shielding you from undue pressure, right? I mean, it's actually essential, and it says here, the boss can't afford to make mistakes because you're the leader, right? You're here to protect us, the people, of the people, by the people, for the people, right? So he goes on and says, I'm wondering if you know the normal person, like the regular Joe average, the people who voted for you, right? The deplorables, if you will, your base, the 40 million plus, the people that you see at the rallies, right? So he goes on and he says, I wonder, and this is good, what happened to you, Donald Trump? What the fuck? What happened to you? Did your mother beat you? How about your father? And then he goes on to say, like, not physically with an electric cord, but what happened to you? And he goes on, your ego chamber, and he says, your only escape is to see other people suffer. And he goes on to say that I know you probably have tried to reconcile this, or perhaps you haven't. But the way we see you, we see Joseph Stalin, Hitler, Pol Pot, Mussolini. And he goes on to say, I hope you don't suffer the same fate as Mussolini. You know what they did to him, right? They hung him backwards, all right? So I am sorry for you. Your life is sad. It's awful. And this is great. You're a little boy playing at being a big villain. But it doesn't seem to help. You're not fucking happy. Then he goes on to talk about empathy. I'm curious. Did you have the natural feelings of empathy that the rest of us have? I don't think so. You're a sociopath, right? So, bullying. Do you realize that you're a bully, Donald Trump? Do you know that bullies are cowards? He goes on, and it's true. Bullies are basically cowards who dominate those who they can dominate. You know what I mean? And I digress a little bit here. We have three cats, and we have one cat I love him to death, but he's an alpha male. And when he gets pissed, he goes after the weaker one. My other cat, Bluebell, she could defend herself, but he goes after my other guy, Tyler, because he's wimpy. I mean, I love my cat. I mean, I don't want to compare cats to human beings, but you see the point. It's an animal instinct, going after the weak. Now, Donald Trump is a bully, and he's a sociopath, right? So he goes after weak people. I mean, you see his recent tweets going on, about like someone's crazy Bernie, and the House Speaker doesn't have any teeth, and I mean, Pelosi is ugly and old. It's despicable beyond words. All right, and then he goes on to say, "You're sycophants. These people who are constantly kissing your hand." And then this is interesting. He goes, the entire Republican Party has fallen beneath your heel, and you seem to really like that. Like kissing the hand, like old mob bosses. He goes into that. It's really funny. Really good. Well done. So I'm going to post this link, and I'm glad I didn't read it. I mean, I'm not an actor here. I'm not a professional actor, but this is good. The people see all that you're doing is to destroy the country. There are many, many things you and your captive minions have done and are doing to change the people into your servants and slaves. The people will tolerate this only so far and so much. The shit that you've done in these 4 years. The people are going to gather en masse to remove you and every one of your party from any position of power ever again. And I'll just go into the last part here. And maybe so I could maintain eye contact, so I'm not doing this. But it says, this is the Easter season, the Passover season. We celebrate this to escape from fucking tyranny. Literally from death itself. That's what it means, Easter, Passover. We, the people, are marking time from the date till the peaceful new American Revolution says a final goodbye to you, Donald Trump. It will be such a grand relief to get rid of you. I write in sorrow that you have not learned humility, humanity. You have not learned humanity. You don't even know what it means to be human. You haven't learned faith. You haven't learned hope or charity. And you know what that is? Hope, faith, charity. That's love. We have no idea what that is. I know that if I ever had any chance of meeting you, this is what I would say to you. Perhaps after you are gone, America will be once again restored. No one should have to live with this darkness again. Okay. That's basically the gist of it. And by the way, there's another good part where he talks about his son Barron. He goes, every time you have him out, which is kind of rare, the kid looks so sad. I mean, what the fuck? And your wife, it looks like your wife is gonna like, what the fuck is this? You are a despicable, lowly dirtbag, Donald Trump. And I do hope they don't hang you backwards like Mussolini. Okay. Okay, so there you go. Just a little shot of my movies I've been watching since we've been quarantined. I have a bunch of DVDs. I love DVDs. Okay, so there you go. I just watched it. Watched it right now. Again, this is Tabor Talk, no editing. I just turn it on and basically live streaming. I misspoke a couple of times, but you get the gist of it. I'm going to post this in the comments section, the letter there. And by the way, it's Mussolini hung by his feet, not backwards. And there were a couple of things where I tripped over my words, but you get it. Okay. Good friends, good books, and sleepy conscience, peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.